Did you see that?
Yes, and I rubbed one out to it.
God damn. Look how his body's just laying there and kind of the skull peeled back a little bit. God damn.
Exactly.
I can't believe we just did that, man.
Uh-huh. That was great.
Oh, shit. Well, I hope we can get past the statute of limitations on this one, man. We just told the world.
Yep.
Well, hello, everybody. We're live. MetalGate Band, Episode 7, Season 2. Welcome. I'm a new dad. I'm getting married. Ball and chain. I'm winging life right now.
Enjoy the 1 p.m. wake-up call since you're a night person.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to
be brutal. If you're
a
day person, it would be 1 a.m. wake-up calls.
Ever since I got back from the hospital, I have been going to sleep around 11 and waking up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Brutal. I can't get out of it. I can't get out of that routine now. It's going to be fucking brutal because I go to work at like 5 to 7 p.m.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal for a while, but it's worth it, man. Anyways, let's get the show on the road here. I have been in a whirlwind starting a family. Jim's basically pulled rank here and gotten
some shit off the ground. And I do have to say I was on that PTR radio bullshit not too long ago. That thing that Elliot runs.
Those fucking commies. God.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about. Those fucking guys.
We have
Elliot, I hate your ass.
We have some good conversations, but it's mostly just me shitting on everyone. Anyway, this one kid, Anarcha, brought up an interesting topic. He's usually like, 75% full of it, but at least he recognizes he's an idiot and willing to learn from it. I give him props from that.
I think
the other 25%, his balls are starting to drop. I got to commend that. Just starting at baby steps. Oh. But one thing, the other 25% of the time, he pulls up information just because he tries to put his nose in everything.
Yes.
And one of the things he's got his nose in is in foreign languages. And he was watching this one baby metal interview. And his first words to me were, it was fucking with him so bad that the subtitles were not matching what they were saying.
Wow. All right, so let's tell this story here because this kind of goes into why we started this. Jim mentioned this to me off air. This goes into media corruption, agenda-driven news. They're not going to tell you the news. They're going to tell you the news the way they want you to hear it.
Yeah.
Very sneaky.
Quit being full of yourself for a second because I found this quite interesting. What happened was the interviewer, it's one of the he didn't go into specifics as to exactly which site posted this. It's definitely an American site. They were interviewing baby metal. First question was, what metal bands do you listen to? And which bands inspire you? And the subtitles read, Metallica is our inspiration. But Anarcha said that the translation was something along the lines of, we have heard Metallica. They're okay. What other bands inspire us are other J-pop bands like ourselves. They themselves identify as J-pop, not metal. So they're being honest about this, and the fucking media is trying to skew them as the next fucking big thing since Slayer.
That's what I'm saying. There's more though.
Yeah, because another one of the questions they asked were, what the fuck was it? What do you think of Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath? The quote was, the subtitle read something along the lines of, they're awesome. And Arca said the actual translation was, who are they?
What shit? Anyways, so basically, trying to convince everyone that something that's metal that's not, and they're lying to you.
Well, he said Japanese culture deems them cute metal, and that in Japanese culture, cute metal falls under the pop rock kind of bracket.
Yeah.
Not actual metal.
Mm. Well, I mean, just listening to it, it's not metal. Like, it made me giggle the first time I heard it.
I mean, I like the shit, but it's pop rock, you know, it's not, you know, anything in depth. And one of the things, if I recall correctly from the conversation, because it was kind of a passing aside, it was that they identify as J-pop and that they see metal as being big, mean, and scary. You know.
And it is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, cute metal being a subgenre of pop rock, it makes sense there.
That's really striking to me that you know, you finally get a band being honest about themselves. Mm-hmm. And the media is the one who turns around and that happens a lot on certain American metal websites, especially. I have a feeling a lot of these bands that they put out there as metal would in person tell you that they're not, that they're a rock band. I just have a suspicion that a lot of the artists that are being pushed as a metal band would tell you that they're not, and that it's the media trying to push some kind of inclusiveness agenda.
Mm-hmm. It's just fucking complete bullshit there.
Yes, it is. But you know, that's just another drop in the bucket. You know, this all the way back from Gamergate. You know, it's the same kind of agenda-driven bullshit using the media.
I mean, it was brought up here in one of our previous episodes. There was this one band that Corey was talking about that he seemed to think highly of. I haven't heard any shit from him, so I have no idea. But he said that the guy was just, you know, into the look of Nazi paraphernalia. The guy wasn't a fucking racist at all. It's just, you know, Iron Eagle does look fucking pretty cool. A lot of people are into Iron Cross, you know, that sort of thing. And, you know, it's all for the design, not for like the actual fucking propaganda behind it, you know. Yeah.
Context matters.
And the guy was fucking slammed as like this huge neo-Nazi and shit. And the guy's like, they're saying, no, I'm not fucking racist. I hate that shit. You know, I just.
Well, no, that's very similar to the band Inquisition, who they explored some of the motifs of racism and nationalism and some of that stuff. And in an interview I saw with the guy, he was being attacked by PC culture. And he was just explaining, like, what kind of just saying, what if we just forgot about all this shit? What would we become? Like, what if we just ignored all this horrible shit that's happened? And you're going to tell me I can't talk about it and remind you where we came from and what happened up to this point? You know, like, why should we erase history?
You look at human history. We're 99% pathetic scum, incapable of fucking human emotions half the time, as we just slaughter one another.
Yeah, well, there's certain people who don't want to, that's not allowed in the history books. They're not allowed to teach that. You know, I remember in school, they would tell us about the war, but they never really talked about the implications and the consequences and the morality, and they never really dug into all that. It was just dates and times. Memorize the dates and times, which is important too, but I don't think they want us thinking about that.
It's interesting to note that we kind of recreated fucking World War II fucking Nazi Germany in the fashion of ISIS. Whenever you break apart the actual historical aspects, what we did was we, you know, invaded a country. Obviously, fucking World War I Germany was being a fucking bastard too. You know, there was a bunch of different politics involved with that. We pushed them to the brink, made them fucking poor as hell, to the point where they were borrowing money from us that they could never fucking repay just to make their war reparations.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what fucking led to the ideology of hate that spawned the fucking, Third Reich.
Yes, it did. Indeed. There was all that was required was one charismatic leader to galvanize everybody.
And a shit ton of social programs that all you had to do was sign on to the fucking party belief system. And you would get fucking free handouts for the government, work programs to fucking go and to actually get into a job, at any cost, so that you would be a working member as soon as jobs came available through the party.
Sure.
And once they had control of the nation, they could fucking put people to work anywhere they fucking felt like,
Right.
So all these fucking social programs came out, and they're handing them out left and right as they gain more and more power, and fucking, just look at what the left hand's doing. Don't watch the right hand fucking gassing the Jews.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, not necessarily. What happened? I think what happened is they were actually convinced on a large scale that it was okay to gas the Jews. Like, I don't think it was a big secret.
Nah, it actually was kind of a secret. A lot of people that survived from Germany have stated that they had no idea that was going on until they saw the fucking footage of it.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
I mean, a lot of military rankers knew, and people that worked in the camps obviously knew. But there was some obscuration because they thought the Jews were just being shipped out. They didn't think into death camps. They thought they were being just shipped out of our fucking way.
Sure, you can compartmentalize people and manage the information, and yeah, sure.
I mean, especially back then. I mean, we had no fucking explosion of fucking other people watching us like we do at the fucking internet age and fucking drones filming shit.
Oh man, yeah. Just thinking of how all that built. Like, I had to go to a mechanic today to fix my car, and we were talking about like how car manufacturers will kind of build in flaws so that you have to keep coming back to their dealerships and shit. And it sounds kind of conspiratorial, but I was like, it's kind of the same thing with like computers and technology. It's like they're building in these measures to stop hackers and shit and just nerds from getting into the guts of all of it. And
I fucking forget the name of the fucking antivirus software, but it literally infected you just so that you would have a reason to keep re-upping your subscription to it.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Yeah. And I just pointed out to the guy, and he agreed, because he'd been working on cars for like the last 20 years. He was like, yeah, I mean, nowadays you buy a car, it's a 100,000 mile car. Like, you're going to have to fix something, and it's going to be a bitch. It's going to be a motherfucker, because if it's not mechanical, it'll be something electric. It'll be computer. And I can fix the mechanical problem 99% of the time, but there'll be some fucking stupid sensor on it or something, and your car won't run properly because of that one little flaw, and it becomes a fucking mess to fix anything. And it was the same kind of idea with, managing information on the internet. Like, there's these built-in flaws that keep it easier for them to manage information, and they keep pushing for more legislation like that. And it's just crazy thinking back to like World War I, II, and II days, how they had to manage information back then versus now. And you were brought up ISIS.
And you fucking look at what the fuck created them. We fucking went into a nation, invaded it, made it fucking broke as fuck, and fucking had left fucking warring factions fighting each other. This fucking tornado of power. We pulled the fuck out, and what the fuck happened? We now have ISIS.
Mm. Yeah, and we paid for it, and we gave them weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That's
all about keeping yourself in business.
That's not on purpose at all.
Yep, just keep the fucking military in business. That's all we need.
Oh, it's a racket. For sure, it's a racket. For sure. I mean, it's undeniable. I think it's out in the open, really. It's kind of this unwritten thing that's just everybody kind of just knows. And what are you going to do about it, dude? We have battleships and drones. What are you going to do about it?
Just fucking nod and agree and keep electing the same kinds of people to fucking office.
Exactly.
Just keep permitting the same damn thing. It's like I fucking hear someone saying, well, Bush did this, that, and the other thing. Well, yes, he did, but you're fucking obscuring, what the fuck Obama's doing is drone strikes and other fucking military decisions here and there.
And
it's all about the fucking military Woodrow, fucking about the fucking Fast and Furious scandal and shit.
Sure, but even talking about just Obama, you're obscuring all the other background noise that, frankly, presidents can't do shit about. Like, if one of these goddamn multi-billionaire weapons manufacturing companies wants to hire some private soldiers and some mercenaries to stir up some shit, they're going to. And there's nothing you could do about that. I mean, unless you catch them red-handed.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like when I was running around with anarchists, it got to the point where, I brought up, what are you going to do about it? We got battleships and drones. What the fuck are you going to do about it? And very few anarchists I know will actually be honest about that. And one of them is Christopher Cantwell. And he will push that button. It's like, look, motherfuckers, we can talk all this talk all day long. But, until we start capping motherfuckers, nothing's going to change. And, very dangerous of him to say those things. But he's right. What are you going to do about it? They have battleships that can carry like 300 jets on it with nuclear missiles all over them. One of those things can take out an entire continent. What the fuck are you on your little computer going to do about it? Right? So like, we have Nazi Germany at one point, and everybody likes to talk shit about them, and rightfully so. But to ignore what our country does, Germany was 12 years. We've been doing this since then. Like, world domination, just complete, merciless. Anybody who gets in our way,
it's
chop
all
them in half.
Fucking chess game, and it's fucking bullshit. And like, we just never learn from fucking history, which is where the fucking PC culture trying to fucking censor all the damn bullshit and push their own fucking narrative comes in, because it's not permitting us to learn from history because they attempt to rewrite it from their perspective.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about Syria. No. Dude, on PTR with Elliot, fuck you, Elliot. But anyways, we watched some videos from the Syrian war. Holy fuck, those were brutal. Damn. Like some fucking dude sitting behind a wall with a Kalashnikov, just kind of shooting back. All of a sudden his head gets blown off.
Beautiful.
Dude,
beautiful.
it was some of the goriest videos I've ever seen were from Syria.
Anyways, let's get back onto the show here.
10 classic rockers PC culture would not allow. This was a VH1 article.
Mm-hmm. And it's just interesting to see that they would include John Lennon because of his "Woman is the Nigger of the World" song.
Yeah, SJWs would go fucking nuts over that. They would.
And the worst part is, it's something they would fucking agree with, yet you're using the word nigger.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny watching their
the fucking word that they're fucking.
It's funny to watch their cognitive dissonance, and this is when they start eating each other over when things like this come up, things that internally conflict with their own agenda. And if a song like a title, "Woman is the Nigger of the World," is the thing, or other things similar to that can just destroy your whole agenda, then you're pathetic. The SJWs, they have some authority in the world. Like, they have this decorum about them. People listen to them and they get their way a lot. but reality eventually is going to sink in. Like,
or just at least lash out at them, letting them. They won't do the fucking introspection necessary to see they fucking bring it upon themselves either.
Right.
But it's fucking always nice to see it happen.
Indeed. So we
you got
that
fucking Beastie Boys with "Don't Be a Faggot," and this is actually, the fucking guy in there said, he grew up in the fucking gay area of New York and he hated fucking faggots. That's why he wrote the song.
That's awesome. I mean, I don't agree with him, but it's one of those things. Like, I'd rather him say it than to not, and let that shit fester. I'd rather him get that shit out in the open.
And the one thing is, the one guy says, another one of the band members said, the gay guys hang out in the street would say, "Hey kid, I'll give you $5 if you suck my dick,"
Yeah, that would piss me off a little bit.
So it's like, there was a reason for the stance, because what the fuck they saw, because there were some fucking creepers there.
Yeah, I think SJWs would respond with, "It doesn't matter at all," but it does matter, right? Because just because they're gay doesn't give them a free pass to act however the fuck they want. I mean, sure, but they're not free from the consequences, just like anybody else. But they're gay and they're an oppressed class, right? You can already hear them getting offended for them.
Okay, and number 3 is Elvis Costello. One day he got drunk at a bar and called James Brown a jive ass nigger and Ray Charles a blind ignorant nigger.
So being drunk is a crime now because people say stupid shit when they're drunk. I mean, period.
And he immediately fucking came up and fucking expressed great regret over what he said and fucking apologized because he was fucking, drunk, and said, "Oops, I'm sorry,"
Right, it was the alcohol talking.
Ray Charles fucking, fucking forgave him right there.
I mean, absolutely. Of course. I mean, people say all kinds of stupid shit.
And Ray Charles said flat out, "Drunken talk isn't meant to be printed in the paper."
No, absolutely not. I mean, maybe for entertainment, but anybody who took that seriously is a fucking idiot. Right? I mean, I mean, these people do that all the time. Take shit out of context, take it out of, just context, and run with it as if they got you. They do this to comedians a lot. But anyways, Frank Zappa.
Oh, fuck. Where to even begin with everything he did?
Maybe he should have been top of the list here.
Oh, yeah. Fucking shit. Catholic girls. Oh, fuck.
So it says he loved sex jokes, ethnic and toilet humor, and tweaking stereotypes, all of which served his music to create a new freedom in which any idea or expression was possible.
Oh, God, you just listen to his shit, man. He would be 100% against the fucking SJW politically correct fucking awards. He always has had that stance.
Wasn't he a part of the PMRC?
Yeah, he was one of the frontliners taking on the PMRC head.
Went right into the fucking trenches and told those faggots to fuck off. Yes, he did. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Even metalheads love Frank Zappa for that.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking beautiful what he did there.
Absolutely. Fuck those faggots. And if they ever try it again, I hope they burn in hell. So next we got Lou Reed with "I Want to Be Black."
Oh, God.
Cultural appropriation. I guarantee you that's what this would be about. You remember the chick, the white chick she had the dreadlocks and All those black chicks freaked out over it.
And fucking shit. And he lived a fucking rock star life, shooting up heroin in concert and openly living with a transgendered lover named Rachel.
This is another one of those that would internally destroy SJW agenda. It would completely have they would be eating each other alive on this one.
Especially since, you know, you got anything connected with Bill Graham, he'd piss on. He was a low-life Jewish asshole promoter that...
So he didn't like Jews. Or that one Jew.
Yeah, just that one, maybe. I don't know.
See, but for me, like always, when it comes to any kind of discrimination or bigotry or anything, I always want it in the open. Always. Period. Always.
Next, we got Iggy Pop, who, oh, fuck.
He did some shit, for sure.
Cutting himself up, fucking crazy shit on stage, fucking assaulting people. He was just fucking one of the fucking extreme punk acts.
Yeah, he just was all out, balls to the wall. But he really was. I mean, he was niggering out, grabbing at my leg and microphone cord. I said, "Stop that, you damn nigger, and take the gut. That takes guts." That's funny shit, man. Now, they would just freak out and say, he's just a racist and he deserves to die. You know, absolutely. This author is correct. They would not allow this guy to have a career.
No, they would not. Next up, Amy Winehouse. I don't know much of her work, actually.
All I remember is that she OD'd or some shit.
She had a doomed songbird with a friend singing.
Fucker. I don't even give a shit
Head,
about
shoulders,
her.
knees, and toes. The nursery rhyme.
Blacks, packies, goods, and nips. Gooks and nips. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Again, just get it in the open. Let all the hate come out until we start fucking addressing it. It's all just gonna keep fucking up. Like you said earlier, we never learn. We never fucking learn. We want to repress all that shit. Never address it. Truly address it. Just push it back under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we got Patti Smith, Rock and Roll Nigger.
What more do you need to say there? Just the title of that song.
Same thing as Iggy Pop on that one. They just would not even allow this. There's no way. With Flea and Johnny Depp. Ooh.
Jimi Hendrix was a nigger. Jesus Christ and Grandma too. Jackson Pollock was a nigger. Nigger.
So, for me, this is a comedian. This has to be. This guy's taking a piss.
It's fucking great.
It's shock rock. That's what he's doing. And SJWs don't understand that. They don't get why it's funny to be that offensive. They don't understand that. It's like it flies directly over their head.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned earlier, they do this with comedians all the time. And Joe Rogan just had a comedy special. He addressed it perfectly. He's like, I might lie to you up here, but if I tell you I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie, but I might, right? Because it's a comedy show, and everybody's laughing, and you people get it, but some people don't, and they're fucking idiots. But anyways, Guns N' Roses.
1 in a Million. And it's a song about how the fuck he thought whenever he got off the damn bus and wound up in L.A. from his little Indiana hometown. So, police and niggers, that's right. Get out of my way. Don't need to buy none of your gold chains today.
Immigrants and faggots, they make no sense to me. They come to our country, and I think they'll do as they please. Like start some like start some mini Iran or spread some fucking disease. They talk so many goddamn ways. It's all Greek to me. People back then were just fucking honest.
And the whole thing is, the context of the song is the fact that he was just intrigued and fucking blown out of his mind by seeing people of different cultures that he never experienced before.
I'm sure he was quite young as well when he got there. And I don't know, but sounds like maybe he wrote this song later and was just kind of trying to explore maybe his immature kind of knee-jerk reactions when he was younger. That sounds like probably what happened here. And again, that kind of shit, context and intention and all that shit, flies directly over PC people. They don't understand that shit.
Oh, fuck. It's just completely lacking any sort of just fucking go for it because a word was used. These people are fucking slaves to fucking, every single thing. The moment someone utters a certain word, you're fucking have to react a certain way or else you are not worthy.
Do you remember being in school and wondering why you couldn't say fuck? It's just, it just means sex.
You see, this is why I started fucking using scientific terms and they just fucking blend into my language naturally. Defecation, urination, fornication, it just fucking flows out naturally. I don't fucking force it, because, shit, piss, and fuck, couldn't say that because I'd get your fucking mouth washed out when I was a kid.
You're right.
Or fucking 20 lashes the belt or something, slapped across the face a couple dozen times.
Wouldn't it be nice to live in a world where 95, 96% of people just didn't give a shit about that? Where you could just say things without worrying.
Oh, yeah.
That'll never fucking happen, though. Sebastian Bach, this dude's fucking crazy. I don't know what he did here, but just as a human being, this guy's fucking crazy. He's insane.
Well, he wore a T-shirt.
Oh,
that's
there
it.
You go.
Just a T-shirt that
AIDS
said
kills facts dead. Wow. And he's for the most part, he's right, isn't he? Isn't that shirt right? Scientifically?
It's fucking one of the things that fucking, went so long ignored by fucking whenever the fucking AIDS epidemic started and shit, it fucking got ignored by the fucking government for so long and pushed to the sidelines and pushed to the sidelines.
That's so fucking crazy because let's say it affected straight people, right? They would go directly after it. It would be no problem to say AIDS kills straights dead, right? But when it's gay people, you can't say it. You can't address it properly because all these little fucking fairies get offended way too easily. And it's probably not even the gay people that are getting offended. It's probably fucking PC SJW fucking douchebags.
Usually straight, white, hetero, fucking upper echelon of life.
Yeah. Fuck. So anybody who tries to tell the truth. So this shirt is made and just tries to say a truth. Maybe we should look into this fucking problem.
Of course, he kind of pussed out here telling Kurt Loder that, he was sorry. He didn't mean to offend everyone.
Yeah. It's a shame when that happens because if he would just stop and explain why it's important that we be able to say the truth. And if it's offensive, too bad. You have the right to be offended, but you don't have the right to silence me, motherfucker. We're going to address this problem. That's what he should have said.
Well, I was talking with someone at work today, and we were fucking talking about, all this fucking bullshit that's going on in college campuses and shit. And he brought up that his fucking college prof was fucking awesome because his English prof purposely made reading the assignments deal with something that would offend someone. And he said he was offended several times, but he appreciated that because what the fuck's real life going to do when it hits you in the face? You're going to come across some fucking shit that's going to offend you. How the fuck are you going to deal with it? You're going to fucking curl up in a ball, cry, and hide in your safe space? Or you're going to fucking sit there and bitch and whine at people and fucking make death threats at them just because they offended you? Or you're going to fucking put on your big girl panties and deal with it like a fucking adult?
Right. And that's a beautiful thing I think we've done a pretty good job at in our little group is, yeah, it might look like we're yelling at each other sometimes, but just trying to keep each other fucking honest. Really, that's what it's coming down to.
No, we do yell at each other sometimes, and that's fucking great because it gets the shit out there and we deal with it.
Fucking A. So apparently, you know, these people, we're not allowed to talk about, even if you're incorrect in what you're trying to say, you should fucking say it. That way someone who knows better can come along and correct you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, say, like with, I think Davis Arini, his kind of views are kind of extreme for a lot of people. Right? And now everybody's trying to silence him, whether you agree with him or not, or I'm not even talking about all the drama, just kind of trying to point out that he has these views that don't line up with everyone. But people are trying to like ban him from YouTube and shit like that. And it's like, you fucking pussies, you fucking little bitches. Can't even deal with someone having a different worldview.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it was someone had said in history that you can entertain an idea without accepting it.
Mm-hmm. And I've done a lot of that. I've entertained it, thought about it, and decided to reject it.
And that's the way that shit should work. Instead, we're being kind of taught, even from when I was in school, that we're not even allowed to address this. It's so bad that we can't even talk about it. Right? You can't even think about if you want to reject it or not. Because I'm offended. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's going to lead to a thermonuclear war. That's what's going to fucking happen eventually. Or some fucking disease outbreak. Or something where people are too fucking offended to talk about it or deal with it. And shit's just going to go to hell one of these days.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just see fucking society eating itself further and further because we're not able to discuss things.
Oh, wouldn't that be so pathetic as a way to go? Like, God damn it! I want a meteor to take us out, or AI or robots or something to take us out. You know, something fucking awesome. Not we didn't talk about it. You know, not we didn't have the balls and the guts to address this fucking problem.
You want to go down
pathetic.
You're pretty much just saying you want to fucking go down fighting instead of just sitting there and going blah 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 blah. Oops, we're dead.
Yeah, I'm offended too. And then we have like a minority of people saying, "Well, you're all a bunch of faggots, and we're all gonna die because of you." That's pathetic, man. And that's probably what's gonna happen. That's probably how we go out.
Let's have a fucking population bottleneck.
Yeah, you're right. There'll be a big portion of the society just fucking throwing a tantrum. And at the very tip top, there'll be a few people going, there's nothing we can do. These fucking people are fucking shit up. There's nothing we can do.
Let them die. We'll live on and evolve.
Oh, and they are.
There's something that's not human.
They are going to. That's exactly what the top tier people are doing. They're always prepared for that. You know, like, that's what I would do.
Completely fucking prepared for everything.
Some of them are. Some of
them would be, but they're not going to be fucking prepared for fucking shit that happens all the time. Because in order to do that, you'd have to leave the planet.
Well, sure. Nothing's perfect. But if I had that kind of money, like billions and billions and billions, I'd for sure have fucking plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know? Like, for sure.
I'd have hookers.
Hookers at every plan. Hookers at every little contention you have. They're just waiting there. They don't have to. You don't have to worry about it. There's hookers just everywhere for you.
Male hookers, female hookers, tranny hookers. Let's fucking just have hookers.
Yeah, and you know,
and beer.
And you get some of them a life insurance policy for their kid, and you could say, hey, go ahead and asphyxiate yourself in front of me right now, and your kid will get $2 million right now.
Oh, you're talking about killing them? I'm talking about keeping them around for breeding stock.
Well, I think you might want to kill a couple of them just for fun. Knowing you.
But I just like killing everyone.
Some people would have to die. Like, well, but everybody else is dead. Like, you know, we're talking about after the society collapses here. You're going to need some people to die around you. I know this. I know this.
Probably at least a minimal annual sacrifice onto me.
There you go. There you go. And just come up with different ways, you know, to do that. You could lock somebody in a chamber and just fire ants all over them.
The great volcano of truth.
Just push them in.
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty cool.
Watch them scream for a while, then they die on fire.
In the lava.
And are incinerated within mere seconds.
Oh man, that would be cool. Speaking of sacrificial death and killing people for fun, Gwar is known for making songs like this, but there is some recent news from a former member of Gwar who apparently beat the shit out of some dude.
Or at least it's rumored she has, according to herself. Pretty much she was kicked out of the band for being too drunk, which is a feat. This is Gwar kicking someone out of their band for being too drunk.
Yeah, let that sink in for a second.
Mm-hmm. And her retort was, you know, you're just afraid of strong, powerful women, which I'm thinking they toured with fucking Daniel Stape, fucking who played Slim Minster for how many years? So I don't think they're afraid of fucking, you know, strong women.
I kind of remember her saying that. That was a while back, like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, this time the person who played Voltrod at one point is back in the news. And apparently, at least according to her account, this guy from Upon a Burning Body, which is just... their music's just bleh.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, I checked out a couple of their songs and it's just like got that fucking... It sounds almost like nu metal mixed with screamo. And it's like,
I'll check him out, but you know, who knows? Anyways,
yeah,
he got his ass kicked apparently.
Yeah, according to her, he grabbed her ass and fucking tried to molest the girl she was hanging out with, and she decided to fucking hit him with a beer bottle, according to her.
That sounds like bullshit, dude. I'm sorry.
And then fucking deck him and shit and break his glasses and shit like that.
That sounds like complete bullshit. Just saying.
It does kind of sound like bullshit. Let's read the actual account here. So apparently the dude whose ass I kicked last night was a singer for some XX Screen Emo Core XX band called Upon a Burning Body. I guess not enough 16-year-old emo girls threw themselves at him after the opening the Shitty Baby Band stage. So he had to come up and harass and molest our girls. Big mistake. Anyway, heads up to anyone at a show that piece of shit plays that his dick is so tiny he will randomly come up to women and get belligerent and rapey. If they
my god, dude, this is shameful. Keep going.
If they reject him or don't know who he is, I guess he won't be in any more Instagram pics with those iconic glasses of his. Easiest fight of my life. She went on to also say, My message is don't come up and grab strange women's asses randomly, and then when they push you off, say, fuck you, whores. I fuck better women every day. And then not expect someone to act defensively. Security was nowhere to be found, so I thought it would be best to put him in a restraint until they did. I hit him in the glasses with my beer, then got a chokehold on in 10 seconds. Threw him out of our area and said, don't treat women like that, you entitled dick. He came back with 5 of his friends. I wonder what he told his posse that he needed backup for, and we had gotten security by then. He was still mouthing off about wanting to hit whores, so they escorted him out, and he said, don't you know who I am? I'm a performer. And then she made a mockery of their fucking band logo art, putting up beat up by a girl in it.
I don't believe very much of that, if I'm honest. I think something happened, but not that.
Well, one thing that put this into perspective, which makes me question both sides here, because I'm about to read another witness account, a third party who witnessed it. But this might be, another fake account, because the band had earlier staged a disappearance of the singer in question here as a publicity stunt. He just disappeared, and it was a publicity stunt and all this shit. And then, it was found out to be a publicity stunt, and, people got kind of pissy about it,
This was before.
Well, someone saw the article posted on the Lamb Goat Facebook page and posted a Facebook response to it saying, you reached out to the lady but didn't reach out to anybody else there? Seems one-sided to me. Here's what I saw standing 2 feet away from the incident. Okay, that sounded like beer cans.
Sorry about that.
This lady and her friends were being belligerent and clearly intoxicated. Some of them did not even have the right wristbands and were not supposed to be in this area. Danny asked one of them where the bathrooms were, and her friend gave a sarcastic and rude answer. So Danny cracked some jokes back. Kim then comes and takes a swing at someone who was not suspecting it. He didn't get hurt, he didn't get beat, and he didn't get hit back. And he didn't hit back. And there was no fight. The whole incident happened in literally 30 seconds in a very public place with security right nearby. The entire time, the boys in UABB remained calm and collected, while this lady and her friends laughed about it and told their friends how they were going to fuck them over and they couldn't do anything back because they were girls. The band hasn't addressed it because such a dumb non-issue was dealt with and is now being over-dramatized. UABB are the most humble, hardworking, and respectable people I have ever been around in the music industry. This is what makes me think this side's also kind of bullshit as well, because he just goes straight into fucking kiss-ass mode.
Yeah. No, me too.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to witness such a blatant lies and misinformation being spread. I had my camera with me at the time, but chose not to film the incident because I'm not in the business of celebrity gossip, and these girls were just causing a scene. But then she started lying to security and laughing with her friends about it and being unprofessional. So I snapped some photos, vids of it, and also of Danny talking about it. Again, where he was calm and collected. I turned that over to the band, but I don't think there's any need for them to address this sensationalized and bullshit story. I'm just speaking up because it's not fair to witness this misinformation and hate coming from people 2,000 miles away.
Sure. I will say that I find the second account more reasonable. It sounds like more realistic than her account.
Yeah, it does sound more realistic than her account, and I put her account in the question because the way she acted, whatever she broke up with Guar, going on that tirade that, oh, you're just afraid of fucking touring with strong women.
Mm-hmm. I do think that probably the second account, there's a little bit of, no big deal. I'm sure some bullshit happened on both sides. But I have a feeling, and this comes from the past year, basically, longer than that, of dealing with radical feminists who just get away with everything because they're girls. So the whole listen and believe thing from Sarkeesian, fuck you. No, I'm always going to be skeptical from now on when I hear this kind of shit. Maybe that's biased. It is biased, but I don't think there's a choice in the matter.
I'm being skeptical of both sides, but is the fucking account given by this witness definitely sounds a lot more plausible given, all the things that she's said and done since, Guar kicked her out for being an alcoholic.
Her account sounds like a script, like a movie. The other account sounds realistic because when scuffles like that happen, they usually only last a minute at the longest. Whereas hers sounds like a slow motion badass action scene in the next fucking Hollywood AAA movie.
Which makes it really sound like bullshit. I mean, yeah, she's, a wrestler and all that, but,
She's a wrestler for real? Like a professional wrestler?
She used to be a professional wrestler.
That's interesting. Wow. I mean, it kind of goes into the whole Gore thing then. Having a gimmick and, that's pretty cool. I'll hand her that.
Like I said, seems like there's bullshit on both sides of this account, but, she's really preaching something that sounds a bit more unbelievable than the other account.
I don't remember. You'd mentioned something about metal protection. Was that this story or was that the J-pop story?
It was fucking this story, Metal Injection. Posted this and only posted her side of the story. Even though this site, the Lamb Goat, the original people covering this, actually posted the updates so that you get both sides here, sort of.
Well, it makes sense that metal protection would only provide one side of the story that lines up with the kind of bullshit that they want to push. And this is why I call them metal protection, because they want to try to shield the truth from you. So they can push their agenda.
And like I said, the fucking second account's got way too much kiss-assery to give it full credence, but it's definitely a lot more plausible.
And it's all we're gonna get, probably. I think the guy was right in saying this is probably a stupid fucking scuffle that's gonna go away in the next day or so, and nobody's gonna give a fucking shit. And I don't. I got too much shit going on to care about this. So I'll be interested to see maybe how certain people deal with the story, how they approach talking about it, or I might be interested in debating it and shit like that. But as far as like getting all emotionally fucking wrapped up in it,
yeah,
who cares? Two people yelled at each other. Fuck it. And that's another thing that kind of lends credence to the second thing is one side wants to just get away from it and move on with their lives, and the other side's gonna make it a big agenda out of it. He was treating women bad. Where have we heard that before? And the whole notion that there's no problem with these kind of people in metal. Like, we should just be accepting of this. Fuck that. Fuck that.
No, the whole entire idea is the war of ideas. Winner gets the spoils, which is fucking album purchases.
And, they probably will. But the industry, Corey, our friend, pointed out, maybe if the industry just gets bloated with all this kind of rock flavored metal or metal flavored rock, whatever you want to call it, then maybe it'll fall apart one day because people will just get fucking bored with it. And then truly innovative musicians can keep playing in the underground. Maybe get a little bit more recognition that way too.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, you got these bands grandfathered in now that like people are fucking regretting. Like fucking, I've heard people still bitching about fucking what's it called? Slayer's Angel of Death, which doesn't fucking glorify Nazism at all. It's all fucking just saying, hey, here's what the fuck happened. During the fucking death camps and shit, pointing out, yes, this is a dark aspect of humanity, but people still want to fucking cling to it being fucking pro neo-Nazi propaganda.
Wow. Yeah, you can't mention the bad stuff. You're not allowed to anymore.
And it's the fucking reflection upon, how scumbag humans can get, which leads to greater inner revelations and lets you know which pieces of history you may not want to repeat here.
You know what really bothers me about SJWs and PC people is I see them all of the time saying people are shit. But then the second you point out that fact in a way that contradicts their agenda, they are not willing to entertain the idea. They are just not going to hear it.
Or even worse, whenever it actually is something that goes in sync with their fucking agenda, they don't want to fucking hear it because we're actually painting reality.
And this is when we start seeing...
They want to fucking just keep dwelling in this fucking realm of fucking theory, which has no real life application, as opposed to seeing real life application in front of them.
And then we see like certain SJWs who at least have an extra brain cell, maybe, that can process that, and they start eating each other, right? Like there'll be one who's just a little bit smarter than the others who can go, okay, maybe he has a point. Maybe we should think about this. And then you'll see his friends just shit all over him. Just completely turn on him, stab him right in the back.
Mm-hmm. It's like the fucking beta male culture. Dear God, they're trying to fucking prove themselves to be worthy of women by fucking subjugating themselves to it, all in an attempt to maybe get some tail, which is fucking obvious. And then when they get fucking called out on it by the very women they're trying to fucking impress, they get all fucking pissanthy about it.
Fuck those guys. Because, I just had the kid. Could you imagine one of these motherfuckers having a kid?
Some do, and it's fucking disturbing.
It's a disaster for that kid. A disaster. If that guy is so pathetic that the only way he can get laid is to kiss ass, then what chance does that kid have of having a good, reasonable father?
Or even better, the fucking woman goes off the deep end, decides to sleep with other men while still maintaining her marriage or fucking domestic partnership with the guy she originally had kids with, and he just sits there and accepts it.
Yeah, guarantee it accepts it. Oh, and then commits suicide at about the age of 45, 50 years old. Of course, yeah. Sure, that shit happens.
No, it's usually the teenage boys of the feminists that fucking commit suicide. There have been a couple cases of that. One really prominent fucking feminist blogger actually had her son commit suicide not that long ago.
Do you remember her name? I remember hearing something about that.
I forget her fucking name, and I don't want to fucking bring it up here because, give her a fucking chance to grieve, fine, dandy, but you're going to be fucking called out on this shit.
Right. I remember, I don't remember specifically, but I remember also there was this scuffle between two journalists on some gaming website. This was a couple of years back. And one of them committed suicide over this issue. And the one guy, the one side apparently had, won the war, right? Won the war of ideas. And then the other person committed suicide over it. And then suddenly, the person who committed it had a Kurt Cobain kind of effect, where all of a sudden, well, they killed themselves, so obviously they're right.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. I fucking
right. You're not allowed to
I
criticize.
Me and my friends fucking got so fucking pissed at the fucking 24/7 Nirvana all the fucking time that was going on right around his fucking suicide. I'm like, fuck.
It's one of those.
We were glad to fucking have CDs just to listen to some actual, good music, because it's just fucking on and on. And
I hate.
And there's people that were saying Weird Al was the devil for fucking making fun of fucking, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I don't think I've ever heard a Nirvana song that I actually liked, like that I actually would ever seek out to listen to. I don't think I ever heard even one.
My one buddy was into him for a little while before the fucking suicide made him get out of them, because he just got so burnt out on it.
Well, I mean, as far as rock and roll goes, and that's what they were, is kind of grunge rock and roll. It sucks. I'm sorry. Bands, there's a million different bands who've done that better. Sorry. The only reason
I fucking apologize. They fucking did suck.
They did, dude. They did. And Dave Grohl sucks balls. I hate the Foo Fighters. I hate that he kind of took over the kind of desert rock, stoner rock kind of scene. Like he's like the guy. Fuck that bullshit. That whole group of grunge musicians and shit around then, after that happened, kind of seeped into everything and tried to take over. Fuck those guys. Fucking hate them.
You fucking commit suicide, life's over. Let's fucking continue on. Fucking shit. My one best friend since I was fucking in first grade, he fucking took a shotgun and blew his head off. And I didn't show up to his funeral on the principle that fucking I just didn't agree with fucking suicide.
Yeah. No, I understand.
It's the fucking. I mean, if he was fucking dying of cancer, then yeah, I would have shown up if he committed suicide, But it was him just going boo-hoo. The military won't take me back in because I fucking got a DUI in Germany and got kicked out because I disobeyed a direct order after I got busted to stay on base after I got busted with the DUI in Germany. And that's what got him kicked out. So it was all his fault for getting kicked out. The military wouldn't take him back. So he fucking blew his own head off.
That fucking sucks.
It was a pissy fit over his own fucking mistake.
And that's what Kurt Cobain did. It was a pissy fit over getting famous. So that's exactly what happened. And that people have all these different theories and shit, but I love
the one where he was a Canadian spy. That was a fun one.
I never heard that one before.
Yeah, that fucking shotgun blast is actually from the back of the head going out the front and all this shit. It was fucking American agents busted him spying for the Canadian government. Which we're going to have fucking Canadian spies in our fucking midst. This isn't fucking given. Every government's got spies everywhere, especially with allies, because you got to know what the fuck they're up to. But still, I find that,
it's really, let's talk about how really truly pathetic Kurt Cobain's suicide is. Those black kids in the metal band that we talked about last season, you remember them?
Mm-hmm.
Those kids, their kids got famous. They're still famous, and they're like the next big thing or whatever the fuck. Their kids dealing with this all of a sudden getting exposure and noticed by everyone and getting all of that pressure. The fucking Olsen twins from the early age were exposed to this and became billionaires
as infants
and could deal with that pressure. But Kurt Cobain could not deal with getting famous. He made music that some fucking how touched the soul of the world, and he couldn't deal with it, so he shot himself. Fucking pathetic.
And yet I was subjected to several weeks of 24/7 nonstop fucking Nirvana anytime you turned on any TV or fucking the radio at all. That was it. Well, I'm just glad we had fucking CDs and cassette tapes back then, because there had been fucking no escaping it if we didn't.
And this is rock and roll talk, and I promise I won't go too much deeper, but Shannon Hoon from Blind Melon, he was in New Orleans, and he smoked too much fucking meth, and he OD'd in his camper. Nobody talks about that, because that happened right around the same time as Kurt Cobain killed himself. And as far as a rock band goes for that time, Blind Melon was 1,000,000,000 times better than fucking Nirvana. That's just from a rock and roll perspective.
I thought they sucked, but you know, whatever.
Well, it comes from, we're talking in terms of rock here, and I know you don't like rock, so.
I don't like most rock. There are a couple bands here and there I will listen to, but Blind Melon, unless we're talking Blind Melon Chitlin, then yeah, I'll listen to that.
Well, anyways, that time period, just, I was a little too young to actually really remember, so I'm kind of going from research, but it's looked on as if it was this great time for rock music and shit, but it wasn't.
Yeah, fucking, there was fucking too much bullshit going on with fucking, you know, everyone calling fucking alt rock the new metal just because it was heavier than your usual breed of alt rock. Fuck off.
The underground was great.
Oh yeah, I loved the underground back when I was a kid. That was great.
And like I said, this is me looking back through research, so retrospect, but.
And we had the fucking new Metallica fans fucking getting beaten up on them. That was always fun.
That's crazy to think about. Like, if you go back to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, the heights that they got to, it was when metal was mainstream and good, right? And then it died right around, I guess you could say, Black? Would it be the Black Album? Is that when it died?
That's whenever it fucking started its quick descent.
Or was it Glam that did it? Is that what did it?
Well, Glam killed it once, then it was resurrected, then fucking, you know, around that fucking period where people sold out or just fucking changed their style for so drastically for whatever reason. And fucking, you know, it fucking died again for a while, then it came back, and now it's going through the slow death throes again.
So there's only like little spikes where both the underground and the mainstream fans agree on shit. There's only, it happens in little orgasms, and that's it. There's, otherwise, it's metal flavored rock and the underground, and that's it. That's usually been the case with heavy metal, is the underground, and then the mainstream was metal flavored rock. And then every once in a while, some band will get the right recipe and everyone rocks out for like what, a month or so?
Maybe a year if you're lucky. You can draw it out that long.
That would be nice, man. It would be really cool to see that happen at least one more fucking time. I mean, I know that you're not supposed to really want that. That's not really metal, but hey, I don't mind having a fucking little release valve for everybody, you know.
You're a new fag. You're allowed to have dreams.
Don't shit on my dreams.
They will be destroyed soon enough.
See, that's what I'm saying. I need a band to shit on my dreams.
There we go.
I need a
That's
band.
The spirit.
I need a band to get huge and just shit all over everything on a massive scale.
On everything you have ever cherished in your entire life, so you realize how much of a joke it really is.
And that's never happened in my lifetime. I mean, in my lifetime it has, but not to where I could actually relate to it in any realistic adult manner. You know, there's never been a band that's done that when I could really pay attention to it. And I envy you old school guys because of that, because you did have that.
And then even me coming in later in the fucking, early 90s, there was shit I missed out on whenever it was still fresh and shit. Mm-hmm. But I always loved digging up the old bands, listening to that shit. Yeah. Seeing what the fuck shit I didn't know of, until, I got into it. Just listening to different shit as it came.
Man, just thinking back to like Black Sabbath, if you were alive back then and you heard that first fucking riff on their initial album, that had to blow people's fucking minds. And to us, it's simple. To us, it sounds rudimentary, and it is, because the metal's evolved so much since then. But trying to put yourself back there and hearing that creepy ass fucking riff, nobody's ever played that before. Holy shit. I'll fucking die to have experienced that.
And it still brings about wonderful images in my head.
It does, man. That album is truly, like, it's overplayed. People talk about Black Sabbath all the time, but they deserve it. They actually deserve that. I mean, that album still sends chills down my spine. And I've heard it ever since I got really kind of started researching this. That's one of the albums I listen to most.
I mean, fucking shit. People fucking praise Slayer and overplay Slayer and shit, but it fucking deserves it.
It does. It stands on its own.
I mean, especially they're up, whole way up until fucking Seasons and fucking Decade of Aggression. That was the fucking shit the whole way up to there. And then, they experimented with their new sound, and there was a lot of meh up until fucking God Hates Us All, and then it's just like more meh.
Yeah. I think what happened there is they cashed out, right? They worked their asses off for chicken feed. Fuck it, we're making money.
Well, they've been making money for years, but I think this is just something along the lines of, I think they even one of them said it at one point, that this is all they know. They've done it so long that this is all they know.
Right. Nah, yeah, I'm sure that happens. You get complacent, right?
Well, not complacent. It's that, this is the job that they had for how long? Fucking, why would they want to fucking give that up and do another career?
Fucking A, dude. There was that Brett Stevens posted something about At the Gates, and he did a review of one of their albums, and great album. What the fuck was that called? Let me pull it up real quick. Sorry, give me just a second. The Red in the Sky Is Ours. Great fucking album, man. But someone had pointed out to me that the guy who is responsible for this band and this project is now a computer graphics designer for video games. And it's like, damn, man. Like, this album, the reason and I've listened to it once, and the reason it's special is because it kind of broke some conventions, but it also stayed true. It's a very unique album. Kind of death metal, but kind of goes in different little spurts in different directions. Really interesting listen. But someone who can do that and move on to a different career where it takes that same level of just like autism almost, that's fucking impressive. That's hats off, man. Like, how do you go from like trying to perfect metal to perfecting graphics design and shit like that? That's fucking crazy.
It's fucking great, man. That's what we call an artist.
That's fucking 1%er shit right there. Right? Fucking, this guy's a fucking elite motherfucker. Hats off.
Yeah.
But that brings up another interesting thing that I've talked about with people before. It's like, even before I got into heavy metal, was you know, we all went to concerts and stuff. We're like, oh, would it be so cool? Would it be so cool to go on tour? Well, yeah, for a while. But I guarantee it's just like any other fucking job. Guarantee it. After fucking 20 years doing that shit, I guarantee there's a show here and there where you just don't want to fucking do it. Fuck it. I don't want to go out on stage. I'm done. Guarantee it.
Yeah, you'll get that depending upon how much you enjoy your work after a while. Some people just really fucking enjoy it too much, though.
Yeah. And they won't go away. They won't quit making shit.
Sometimes good shit, oftentimes shitty shit.
Well, you know, teach their own, I guess. Anyways, all lives don't matter, and black lives don't matter, and cops don't matter. None of them matter. Just kill everything.
Oh, yeah. I was checking this out, and there was an article written that pretty much highlighted the death of this kid, white kid now, who was fucking shot dead by cops because either A, he was attempting to flee a scene, or B, he was trying to run a cop over in his car. And, you know, everything that's known is that the window was open. The shot was taken at almost point blank range. And the debate is whether it was to the front of the head or to the back of the head, which he was shot. Was to the back of the head, they're going to find the cop in the wrong, at least, you know, in the court of public opinion. But the thing is, there's no real public opinion to be had because people are fucking overlooking it. And the main thing about the article is calling out all lives matter on this for not posting anything about this white kid shot by cops. Because if all lives matter was to counteract Black Lives Matter, you know, pointing out, you know, all these fucking black kids getting shot by cops, you know, and instead saying everyone matters, then, you know, why aren't they taking this up? And you fucking surf the tag and the All Lives Matter tag, and it's mostly all about fucking cops and how their lives matter.
So it's not really that all lives matter.
And they do post shit like on that tag, such as 4 black cops killed in 7 days. Where's the outrage?
Right.
And,
so their whole thing is cops.
And you go along the fucking Black Lives Matter. Keep in mind, these are black cops that were killed, and they weren't mentioning this at all about the black cops being killed
because they're cops.
They did, however, the Black Lives Matter people did fucking mentioned about the white teen being killed by cops, but, you know, they didn't mention the black cops being killed because, you know, they were cops. Whereas, you know, the fucking All Lives Matter crowd, you know, complained about the black cops being killed, but didn't mention anything about the white kid being killed. So it's just interesting to see how these two people are just, these two different groups are fucking having this piss match over, you know, which is better. And they both seem to not question anything dealing with what they see as the straight and narrow, which is fucking crooked as shit.
Yeah.
Sit there and ask, do cops' lives matter or do their fucking victims' lives matter? You know, whether they fucking go out shooting, you know, and it's one or the other. You can't fucking try to mesh it together and see, you know, a little from column A, a little from column B, or, you know, try to post together, well, fucking cops got too much power, so, you know, there's that thing going on. But at the same time, you do have a lot of shady motherfuckers pulling shady shit on cops. And what the fuck are they going to do?
This is an ambiguous situation where it's relative to what fucking happened in the specific situation. And saying that a specific life matters is a fucking wrong way to look at it. It's just not going to work.
It just seems so much that there's fucking just complete and utter blind faith. You know, you got the Black Lives Matter thing going off on complete blind faith that whenever someone gets shot by the cops, they were always innocent. Whereas you have the All Lives Matter community stating that the cops are always in the right. This is 100% complete blind faith, not realizing, yes, there are criminals in the world. Here go. Maybe the cop was justified. On the flip side, then you have no one saying that fucking maybe cops were fucking at fault for fucking abusing authority, which they've been known to do. I mean, a kid opened a door with a fucking Wii remote. White kid opened the door holding a Wii remote, which looks nothing like a fucking handgun, and a fucking cop shot him dead.
I've seen him handcuff a person and shoot him in the back after they're handcuffed.
Mm-hmm. I've seen footage of fucking cops escorting some guy out of the car for the specific purpose of fucking beating him. And he fucking died in fucking his jail cell. I mean, some fucker had a fucking home video, fucking VHS back in the day, recording this shit. So, you can't tell me that there are no such things as corrupt cops. And you can't just fucking accept on blind faith that all cops are going to be fucking upholding the law, which is what the one tag tries to fucking project. Well, on the flip side, you can't tell me there's no such thing as criminals, because fucking shit, what the hell did I do back in the day? Granted, it wasn't anything too violent, maybe a couple assaults, but
for that
but
side
that
of
was
it,
more or less just fighting that I did. So you can't tell me there's no such thing as fucking criminals.
For that side of it, I would like to just ask those people, that the people who are saying that the cops are always in the wrong, I would like to ask that person, would you be willing to put on a badge right now, right the fuck now, and go out there and take care of this shit right now? I guarantee 90% of them say no, if not more.
Fucking, if I put on a badge, it'd be a fucking bullet for everyone.
I don't think anybody's really truly qualified to be a cop.
I know, sure as hell I wouldn't be. Like I said, a bullet for everyone.
Right. I'd maybe last a month before I lost my mind.
Maybe
Could
3-4
you imagine
hours.
dealing with people like that? Like, no, fuck that, man. I could barely deal with people the way it is.
Oh, fuck. Work customer service long enough, you'll be wishing you had the chance to fucking go shoot up the place.
Guarantee it. And now all of a sudden you have this badge and this uniform where people respond to you like they're just fucking terrified of you, and rightfully so. Yeah, fuck, what a horrible position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So even the good cops, they probably have to break rules just to get by, just to survive the day, just to get home with their fucking sanity intact. Probably have to fuck around a little bit, right?
And then you gotta watch the flip side of this, because let's say you are actually committing a victimless crime here. Does being polite to the cops always work? It raises your chances of survival, yes, but no, it does not always work.
No, it doesn't.
So perhaps running for cover, or maybe trying to fucking call up 911 so you got, the operator's fucking listening in or something, which the cops are going to fucking try to interrupt because they don't know what the fuck you're doing, Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And they just might get trigger happy just to fucking pop you in the fucking head. And you were fucking just selling some pot to someone that was like 37 years old or something.
Yeah, pot needs to be legalized, period. I mean, I'm not trying to be all lib fag here. I'm just saying it's a fucking human goddamn tragedy that plant's not legal. Anyways.
Or fucking selling cigarettes and fucking get busted with the fucking tax. That's fucking complete bullshit there.
Well, hats off to Colorado. I'm sure there's a bunch of fucking hippie faggots there, but still, hats off. First state to fucking say enough with this baby bullshit. Don't tell me what I can put in my body. Fuck off. Hats off to them.
If things go well, I will be taking occasional vacations out to fucking Ohio, because they're supposed to be voting this year on whether to fucking legalize it commercially.
Hell, I'm pretty goddamn close to Ohio, too.
Pretty damn close to me. Yep, that's fucking beautiful.
Fucking hey, dude. More cop shit, like with the people who always say that cops are in the right. The body cameras and the dash cameras and stuff. I was always kind of thinking maybe it was a good idea, but then I thought more about it, and it's like, well, hold on. This might have this effect where it desensitizes people, right? Where you just accept their violence. Like, well, hey, you're cops, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, bad cops. What you gonna do when they put a slug in you?
Well, that goes back to earlier. We were talking about like the military and the state and shit. They got fucking battleships and shit. What the fuck you gonna do, bitch?
The state is a fucking horrible metric for any type of morality. Fucking look at the different things that various states have fucking legalized. There was a time when fucking slavery was legal. There was a time when fucking segregation was legal. There was a fucking time out in fucking Nazi Germany where the fucking Holocaust was legal.
Right.
Fucking mass genocide legal. And there's still governments today fucking trying their own little genocides. And that's legal in that country. Sure
thing, man. It's only some people only want to cherry pick the good stuff, right? If they legalized pot, there'd be a cross section of people who, for the next year, 2 years, 10 years, would be all they fucking talked about ever is how great the person was who legalized pot. And that's all they'd fucking talk about. That's all they'd ever point to and say it's the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread. And they won't let you talk about, yeah, but maybe LSD should be legal. Well, fuck you. Now you're running the fucking, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
they just go too far because fucking meth heads, fucking crack heads, fucking heroin junkies. I say they all need to be euthanized.
And I think a good way to do that.
I've had way too many dealings with each of them that fucking were always fucking horrid. Fucking getting hit overhead, the fucking table leg, just because, they bought some pot off you and they wanted to steal the money off you that they just paid you for the fucking pot.
I think
so
a good way to
go and score some fucking meth. No, fuck you.
A good way to euthanize those people, give it to them. Just have the government manufacture a fuckload of meth, and only to people who are already addicted. Only to those people, and just give it to them and let them just fucking waste away. Just let them.
Just give them 100% fucking pure, and let them try to boot up their normal levels. They'll fucking OD the first time.
You could do that. We could do that. We could get behind this. Some drugs, I would want legalized in a more controlled fashion, like LSD, for example, because if you just legalize, if you go to Walgreens and buy LSD,
there'd be some mad shit.
Could you imagine? Like, imagine if you lived in Chicago or New York City or Los Angeles, and one day they said, 10 strips of LSD, $20.
Yeah, good shit. Oh God.
I would probably just run away. I would probably just get as far away from that fucking city as I could.
I don't always run to the hills, but when I do, it's for my life.
Yes. That would be the most insane thing that you could possibly do as a society, is just open that Pandora's box right there. Now, if you legalize LSD for clinics, like where you could sign up for, like, you could take an FMLA kind of thing, and you could sign up, go there for therapy and just trying to experiment with it and stuff, where it was in a setting where you had babysitters and shit like that, and you had all the toys you could imagine, had to have a good trip. That would be fucking awesome. That would be really fucking awesome.
They need to have a fucking country club kind of rig, where you can just fucking walk off into fucking nature as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe you wouldn't realize that there's babysitters watching you, right? Like, you were perfectly safe, but you were also not really perfectly safe, right? Like,
And if you start wigging out, they just fucking drug you and take you back and put you in the straitjacket till the trip's over.
Right. That would be fucking awesome. If I could go to a country club, say I want to go on vacation, I pay this country club $1,000, and I'm there for 2 weeks. Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. Awesome. But that'll never fucking happen.
Nah, it's probably ill-advised, too. There'd be people fucking trying to sneak out and fucking do crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's one of those pie in the sky kind of things. But it would be fucking cool, at least for a little bit. So, that goes back in the drug war, too. I mean, we got cops, like CIA agents and shit, running drugs into this country and shit, but at the same time busting people for it. You know, like, to look at it as if it's just this one-note issue is absurd. Like, all lives matter, Black Lives Matter. You're both fucking wrong. Like,
and you get fucking cops fucking living it up on fucking meth, which they fucking bought off someone. Sure. Or just confiscated, you know, and have their own supply.
You know, and at the same time, you know, you have just street criminals who build a drug empire or whatever kind of empire they got. And there are fucking cops out there who take that shit seriously, right? They're not there to fuck anybody over. They're actually trying to keep the streets safe and shit. So to say it's this one-note thing where it's all good or all bad, fuck off. Fuck off with that.
I mean,
that's not the way reality works.
On the flip side, you got your fucking people who, you know, are fucking just selling, you know, dime bag this pot to someone, and, you know, they might fucking decide to pull a gun and pop a cop in the head just so they avoid getting hit because they might have, you know, a quarter pound in their shoe or something, you know.
Have you noticed?
They got others that'll fucking put up their hands and fucking say, okay, you know, pat me down, it's all cool, you busted me, whatever. You know, and, you know, let's just say the cop's going to fucking, you know, be rational even in the fucking pat down situation because there's always that chance he's packing heat.
Yeah, he's going to pat you down, handcuff you, and shoot you in the back, right? You ever notice these Twitter movements like this always seem to never be willing to address the complexity of the situation, like the nuance that happens in all of these situations? They just want to look at it this one angle, and that's it. We don't want to look at it any other way. It's all. Just stop with the other stuff. That's, you're offending me. Stop talking about that other situation that goes against my narrative. Quit talking about that. We don't want to talk about that. Well, you're fucking bad. You're wrong. Fuck off. You know.
I was just having an actual conversation about Twitter in and of itself with someone, and they're saying it's fucking absolute noise and garbage, and I gotta kind of agree with that. You know, I severely agree with that because you're limited in characters to what you can fucking convey. Usually, just post a quick link or something, you know, and a lot of it is just fucking self-promotion. But because you're limited to so many characters, you know, you would think it permits for faster communication, just being forced to condense your ideas. But oftentimes you'll fucking get into situations where you have too long of an idea, so you have to break it up into fragments, which wind up disjointed and fucking misconstrued, and it just fucking quickens the pace of the outrage coming out.
The only real reason to use Twitter is to self-promote or share a link. Honestly, like, there's no reason that you should try to explain some complex issue on Twitter. Just you're asking for trouble.
I've had some wonderful conversations with porn starlets on there, and you know, but the thing is that it's just, you know, hard to fucking do that within the fucking character limits and all that fucking shit to actually have an in-depth conversation, especially with someone that's famous like a porn star. You have fucking people butting in halfway through and fucking, you know, starting to derail the conversation, and you gotta fucking keep track of 6 different threads within the same conversation going on.
For me, Twitter's just not worth my efforts in that department. I will promote MetalGate and provide some interesting links on there from time to time. That's fucking all I do on there. And I might check out some other people like Sargon's stuff or Ralph Retort's kind of stuff. You know, other people on there. I might check out what they're providing, but I usually don't see. I mean, sometimes I see them in debates and shit on there, but I don't care because they can't properly address the things on there. Like with someone like Sargon, he's too eloquent for fucking Twitter. I wish he would just stop. Just make the videos, man. Like,
yeah, but you know, it's a place to go where fucking people do expect the fucking self-promotion. And they go there for their fucking idol worship and fucking keeping in touch and fucking think they got something to say.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
And that's where the fucking hashtag hatred comes in because, you know, people just quickly latch on to a fucking quick catchphrase and let's go fucking hate on something.
And then it's a one-note issue and you're not allowed to provide any realistic example that counters that fucking tunnel-visioned, fucking narrow-minded bullshit that they're pushing.
You know, like an alien Bible being found and finding out that they worship Oprah.
No, they worship Dr. Phil.
You know, or God showing up in a mall.
Oh man, I don't know why that made me think, but I was with my girlfriend earlier today, and we were watching some silly show called World's Dumbest. And it's just this silly show where they show fail videos, and these comedians kind of commentate around them. It's actually a pretty clever setup, but I had the idea of doing one for like Showtime or HBO, where it's nothing but like faces of death fails, like where people fucking just die, and you have morbid humor comedians doing skits around them, like talking, like making fun of all these people who did stupid shit and died.
The Darwin Award winner goes to.
I'd watch it. I really would. I'm not ashamed. I would watch that.
Yeah, it's definitely Darwin Awards.
Yeah, you could do Darwin Awards. That would be fucking great. We actually did that on PTR, where I mentioned that earlier, where we watched like Syrian videos. And I did that on your podcast, like seeing motorcycle wrecks. There's something about a body flying through the air and you know they died. That is fucking hilarious. I don't know what the hell it is. Like, it's the same kind of laugh that you might have if you see an old lady fall down, but more intense. It's more intense.
Because you know they deserved it.
Probably somewhere along the line they deserved it, yes. And that's kind of why, like, for my funeral, I want to be launched across the fucking Grand Canyon. Everybody should have a laugh at my expense. I probably deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take myself that fucking seriously.
I mean, very seldom in those Rex videos that we were watching did I see something where it was like the driver's fault. It was often the fucking biker's fault for fucking weaving in and out like he was Batman.
Another really awesome thing to watch, for me personally, other people might like it, is pedestrians getting hit by cars. Holy fucking shit, I laughed my ass off on PTR. I could not contain myself. You'd see some idiot trying to cross the interstate, and this fucking car coming like 70 miles an hour, and just bam, and the motherfucker goes flying like 60 feet in the air. Holy shit, that's fucking hilarious, because they weren't looking right. They weren't looking in either direction, and they're crossing a fucking interstate. You do not belong on the interstate.
No.
You're not on a vehicle. Do not even think about it. Those cars come way fucking quicker than you think.
See, I've crossed the highway before on foot, but I fucking knew what to fucking look for.
It's still hair-raising. It's got to be.
It's interesting.
Well, I mean, a car going 80 miles an hour, it might look like it's far away, but it's not. When it's going 80, if you could see it, it's probably not safe to cross. But these fucking idiots would just run. They just get to the road and just run across, and bam. and you just see him ragdoll through the fucking air. It's fucking hilarious, man. I just have I cannot contain myself when I see some idiot get killed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I don't think I'm alone there, but I might have a screw loose or something, because it makes me fucking laugh my ass off. I can't help it.
It's the way humans act.
Oh,
That fascinates us.
It is fascinating. It really is. Like seeing someone get their head blown off by a fucking high-powered rifle, like right face up next to it. With seeing that happen, it's disturbing, but it's also like very fascinating at the same time. Like it's not funny, but you kind of deal with it by kind of chuckling a little bit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could imagine like being in a war and it getting so fucked up that you would just lose your mind and start laughing and start shooting. Like that would be the only way you could really deal with it. What's that?
They called it shell shock.
Is that what that means? Is that you just
went insane during wartime. Sometimes you go all reclusive and just not be able to talk. Other times it was just a jolly good time.
I could see that would probably happen to me if I got in the fucking trenches and all of a sudden my whole squad just got murdered.
I mean, it's actually an archaic term for fucking post-traumatic stress, but there are very different ways people, exhibit signs of it. Like I said, it just fucking runs the board, and it's all deviant behavior from the norm.
You go Ragnarok, like the Gwar song. You'd go Ragnarok, and friendly fire. We're partying now, motherfuckers. Everybody's dying. That kind of feeling where you're just surrounded by nothing but death, and the only way to deal with this is I can't be afraid of dying anymore, and neither can you. And we're just going to fucking go down together, man. We're going down. Friendly fire and all. Let's go. I could see that happening to probably most people if put in that situation. Either that or they curl up in a ball.
Anyway, I'm going to have to get going here because it's about bedtime for me. I got to get to work.
Not a problem, dude. I'm fucking tired as hell, too. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining. We'll be back next week. Thanks, Jim, for fucking keeping up on this shit. I'll get back on the horse as soon as I get comfortable with this new family lifestyle shit. So,
yeah, you take care of that, man.
I will. All right, guys, take it easy.
All right, have fun.